Bambela musite daily, nganzi wenja nonya kange, lavandire de ever steady daily, mugambe
Bakasa.
First of all, Rabadaba, put me on the remix. Welcome to the podcast, She Knows Best. It's not therapy, but it might help. This episode is called, Is Kampala Even a Real Place? Hustle culture, chaos, and the city we just can't quit.
Yep. Living in Kampala, hustling in Kampala, love-hate relationship with Kampala.
Yeah.
Beautiful place,
chaotic place, but it's the city that has our hearts, for real. It's really a toxic relationship, but anyway. To start off, let's check in.
Check in.
How have you been, Lizzie baby?
I'm good.
What have you been up to? What's happening? What's popping?
I wish there was something popping. I'm trying to navigate Kampala like everyone else. I'm trying.
You're just trying. Really just trying.
Like everyone else. Trying to navigate the traffic, the potholes. It has started raining, so there's that. I'm
one of those people that likes it when it rains, but I do realize very, very much so that it's from a privileged point of view.
Yeah.
But I love it when it rains, guys.
Yeah,
I really do.
The sleep bangs. The sleep
bangs.
So
also, like the dust is very little. It's much less. And also, less people want to meet in the office. Guys can allow now to meet at home because now it's raining. It's raining becomes an excuse. And I'm like, if that's your excuse, let's go with it.
Yeah. Navigating Kampala. I'm excited about our new intern on set with us this week.
We have a very unpaid intern. She's paid in love.
She's paid
in food at home.
Yeah. And motherly hugs. Yeah. She's doing a lot of background work for us. It's nice seeing her here. And her beautiful smile. Yeah, so that's exciting. Yeah.
Yes. See, it's the small things, the little things. Like bring your child to work day, don't pay her for working. It's the little things in life.
Child labor. What about you?
I'm hustling as well. Work, I think. Again, like you said, man, I wish something was popping, but nothing's popping. So we are working, we are hustling. I have a couple. It's getting into a really busy season for me.
Yeah.
So I have some work trips that I'm preparing for.
Yeah.
Just came from one.
Yeah.
But and then I have some that I'm going to in September. Now I think October as well, and then November as well. So I'm just back to back travel. But then it's also going to be. So now is prep time. So it's super busy. But again, like I always have to remind myself, it's the life that I prayed for. So every time I'm in this space, I'm like, Alhamdulillah. Like it doesn't take away from the fact that I'm tired.
Yeah.
I am tired.
Fatigue is
real. But I'm also still super, super grateful.
Yeah.
Because I think we talked about it a few days back, and I was telling you how like sometimes I wake up and not even wake up, like I get into my house and I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
But then I remember that this is the exact life that I prayed for. So it's good. I think I'm in a very, very grateful period. In a very, very grateful period. Fighting with a city that is Kampala, but still grateful for all the opportunities that it has put before me.
Yeah. I get you. I feel some days I feel like that as well. Some days I'm just like, this city, I'm so done. But then when I'm away, I miss it so much. I'm like, when am I going
when Liz is away, she knows everything that is happening in the city. Every single, like the girl will tell you, she'll text in the middle of the night, she's like, yo, this. I'm like, what are you saying? What is even that? And to go and find out, because they be there, they're because they're so homesick. Now they're just stalking everything and everyone.
I swear, I even started listening to podcasters like these hardcore Luganda, like TikToks and podcasters, stuff I would never have cared about, like here. But when I'm back there, everything, I want to know everything. It's so crazy. Yeah. And then when I'm here, it's so frustrating because it's like the littlest things, like just piss you off. Like I keep saying, this is the funny thing with this love-hate relationship. Indeed, it's a toxic relationship. As soon as I get off the plane and the air hits me like this, I'm like,
that air, shit. By the way, you know, for the longest time I thought people were just jazzing.
No, it's a real thing.
And then there is this one particular time, I think, I don't want to say it because now it's there, but anyway, as coming from Rwanda, which is just our neighbor here. It's not so far, but I'm telling you that it's not even that the air is so humid. Like, it's just heavy air.
It's so heavy.
It's just heavy air. Like, the moment you get out, you know, when you get out of the airport like this, it's just, it's you just girl, like, it's crazy how it's actually a real thing. Like, the air is dead.
You don't even have to get out of the airport. For me, like, the dysfunction starts as soon as you get out. In the tunnel. You walk out of the tunnel. And then you either that day they're going to tell you use the stairs, use this pathway, or go down.
No, but you guys, the new airport is working.
No, the new airport is, some parts are working. This is a problem. Some parts are working, and that's a problem. Like, some parts are working, some, because you see, like in aviation, they also have like different contractors for the different parts of the airport. So, for example, when you go through immigration, the immigration people try. Do you understand? Yeah. Like they try to move the lines.
Immigration is actually our immigration is not. You guys are studying immigration lines.
Yeah,
ours is not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. It's
so like the aviation, the immigration team, great job. Then you get to baggage. That's where you see shege. That's where you see flames.
To be fair, okay, baggage, because also one you go and then there's one machine working.
Exactly.
And then you've come with guys who have come from like Dubai.
And usually that flight of those who flights Dubai, Qatar, they arrive all like at the same time. And then there'll be like a KQ, Uganda, all at the same time.
God helps you and you come with a flight with guys and you land with guys like from Dubai. Yeah. You will feel it.
Peak hour.
You will feel it because guys have like all that shopping, everything.
You real feel it.
Yeah, no.
And then I feel like there's a disconnect. I feel like there's a disconnect between like the what's happening at like, okay, immigration is really fast, but then like the process behind collecting the baggage from the aircraft.
Yes. No, our baggage thing is very.
It's so bad.
It's so like but you can stand there for a good time. You know, even when I pick people up at the airport, if you tell me you're in baggage, I know I have like another 30 minutes before.
30 minutes? That at least like an hour. Like an hour. Let me tell you, when I came back this last time, unfortunately, like that's when my dad had passed. And already when you're in that state, like this was the longest flight of my life.
You're tired, you're exhausted.
And then I get to this airport and the bags are not coming. I was there for 1 hour.
They are not coming on the
But then I thought to myself, if I leave the bags and I go, because what totally kuchiwano, like what
is there that is very important?
And because I was just like, if I leave the bags and go, like, what is it?
Yeah.
Like, I was so frustrated. But anyway, like, what shall we do?
No, but that's to be honest, I have seen worse airports. Like in the things that I can complain about Kampala or Uganda, the airport is not the worst. Because I have been to airports where I want maziga like these tears.
There's that airport in West Africa. I won't say the country because
we know. We all know.
We all know. But the airport, my friend,
we all crazy. Know. But yeah, so but I mean, to be fair, when you said the air, I thought you were going to say in the airspace. Because even from there, you just see the problems. You're just looking down and you're seeing all your problems waiting for you down there.
You're just like, man. Anyway, but Uganda is the city, the country we are.
It's, to be honest, Kampala is such a lovely place. Whether we like it or not, whether we think it. But I think also, but you know what the funny thing is the hustle culture, which on one hand is probably what makes it such a difficult place, such a chaotic place, because everyone is hustling. You get Fenatibam City daily.
Gatupakasa.
Every day you're in the city, you get. but that's also what makes it so amazing. I feel.
Yeah.
Because it's actually the land of opportunities.
Is it?
I feel like it is, guys. And it's like a double-edged sword. Because you can try and be anything that you want to be in Kampala. You get it's not guaranteed that you will be that thing. It's not guaranteed that it will come like
it will pan out
will pan out exactly the way that you want it to, but you can try. You get. So that's why I'm like, it's the land of opportunities. There's an opportunity for you to try. Then now the problem comes on finishing and executing and it working out. Because I know, of course, one of the reasons why we're the most entrepreneurial nation in the world, in Africa. One of the reasons why we're very entrepreneurial nation is because we are young people. Like it's I think 70% of the population is youth. So it makes sense, right? Because we're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to make it happen. But also the fact that there is even that chance, if you can even fathom to think about the fact that maybe. So I think that's why I'm saying it's a land of opportunity, because, and again, I might be speaking from a privileged point of view 100%, and I recognize that, and I'm going to check myself a little bit and realize that and recognize that. But it's just, I just feel like there is so much hope.
Is there? I feel like that the hope has dwindled quite.
It has. To be fair, it has, because there's a point, like, I mean, when we think it, the Daba song came up, hustle culture was a great culture. You get, we're in the streets, we're thinking, we're pakasaring, and something is going to come out of it. So I get you when you're like, I don't know now. Because
sometimes I wonder, like, I keep asking myself, do we actually really want to hustle, or because we've been pushed to the wall? And I think that's why
is it an effect of circumstance?
Yes, like, and I think that's where we're at, like, as a city, like, as a people, like, people have been squeezed to the wall so much that the only thing that you have left to do is hustle. Because think about it, like, there's no, like, they say usually, and I think, which it may be true for us, like, government is supposed to be like that biggest employer, and then the private sector, whatever. But, like, we don't have that many jobs or that many opportunities available to people. Yes, government may still be the biggest employer, but remember, we're a poor nation, so we can't even pay most of the people that that are on the government payroll. Think about people like teachers, policemen, that are very
doctors,
underpaid. Doctors, severely underpaid. So what do? That's where you have to go and hustle. So that's where this whole thing of side hustles came from, because one income is not enough for you.
In Kampala, you cannot survive.
You can, so it's even impossible. Yeah, so even a doctor who's working, in a government hospital, who should be ideally should be one of the most well-paid people, still has a side hustle. I'll give you an example. The guy who sells us our phones, the guy who sells me phones. The guy is a doctor, but he has a shop for phones. He's a medical worker, but he has a shop for phones.
Oh my
God. What kind of life is that?
I get that. No, like I said, I was definitely speaking from a privileged point of view. And also, honestly, my privilege is not even that significant for me to be here jazzing like that. But the thing is, like, I don't know. I think I still like, I get what you're saying. Like, the reason for the hustle culture is because there is no other choice.
Yeah.
And I get that. But I still truly, like, there's just something, and again, this is maybe glamorizing pain and suffering, but there's just something so great about the fact that we still get up every day and go out there and try, despite everything. And it's maybe because if I don't try, I won't eat.
It's because of necessity. It's because of necessity, because you have no room to breathe.
I have no room to breathe.
What will you do? If you don't wake up. So that's why that's why I'm like torn. I'm also torn. I'm just like, should we glamorize this hustle culture that is Kampala, or is it out of necessity? Like, are people hustling because I really have no choice?
I mean, true. I mean, that one I agree. Of course, probably majority of the people. To be honest, let me not lie, even me. All of us, the reason why I keep telling, I'm always telling people I have like 5 jobs. It's not because I enjoy working every day and every day I'm working 5 different jobs. No, it's because it's necessity, because you can't just survive on one thing. There has to be different things that you're doing. So I get that. And You're right. We definitely need to stop glamorizing it. I think it's also a survival tactic, to be honest, because I can't cry every day. So we have to see some
something good.
Something good in it, which is not right, and we shouldn't have to like force that to happen that way. But it's just, there's honestly just something so inspiring about it.
But what I find inspiring though in the hustle culture is the ingenuity. Like the ability for people to come up with interesting ideas, even when it may feel like, we're all being squeezed. Like that, I find inspirational.
Yes.
I mean, there's room to do more in terms of innovation and ingenuity and, people coming up with like new and fresh ideas. But like with what we've got and the cards that we've been dealt, I feel like that's something that's inspirational. I look at it, I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like you can come up with an idea like this and try and execute it, even in the difficult circumstances. That I find really cool.
All right, cool. Okay, that one, definitely. Maybe that's what I was trying to say, and I couldn't say. But I get, but exactly what you're saying. Like I get that. It's exactly that. Like in even our limited resources, our limited access, still somehow we're able to like come up with these amazing concepts, amazing ideas, create this amazing art and things like that. So I think that's maybe what I'm trying to like get to, is there's something inspiring about that. There's something that's like, okay, you know what? Maybe we'll be okay. Maybe somehow we'll be okay if at some point we get a government that doesn't hate us so much. Maybe we might be able to get out of this situation that we're in. So I think that's where that's where the hope that I'm talking about actually does come from.
So like that's why, like, there's this back and forth. Like there's this, it always leaves you conflicted, as people who are trying to build lives in Kampala, in trying to hustle and make our way, make ends meet. And the thing with hustle culture is, there's even there's no support. Like there's no I mean, there's no like there's no support for the hustlers, right? Even though we're a city of hustlers, there's really no support. We're one of the most entrepreneurial countries in the world,
but there's no
like clear frameworks to support entrepreneurs, young innovators, etc. I mean, government claims to be trying here and there in different sectors, even in the creative industry. But like a lot more could be done. And like,
definitely,
this is something that I find disheartening, or it's tebawa man, like man.
The other day, I think when the same group chat where the URA sent out a thingy of how all of us now have to start invoicing and receipting through their system. And you think about it and you're like, in the work that we do, you're working with very young people, maybe like 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, maybe even 28-year-olds. And I'm not saying that these people shouldn't be responsible, but even the money that you're paying them, and now you have to take it through the system, and you're taking away the very little that they're getting, or even us as well. Like the way that we're being paid is, you're getting from here, you're getting from there. You're not like it's coming in, it's not coming in. But those are the people that you want to tax the most. Those are the people that they're going after, because it's like, oh yeah, we're losing money, we're not tapping into this industry. But you're losing money from an industry that you haven't invested in, you haven't poured into. Like these people have figured out a way. They've hustled. They've figured out a way to make it work. In a situation where you haven't supported, you haven't supported them, you haven't given them access, you haven't subsidize anything. Like there's no very clear support, and leave alone even the support, fine, maybe there's no money, we're a poor country, but okay, fine, like help us create the frameworks and all these things, help us put like skilling,
capacity development,
all those things, or even regulation, because you'll find that hustler, that person with a small business that you're trying to tax so badly, so much, is working with this company, with this like multi-million-dollar company, or you get like conglomerate company, and they're telling them, I'm going to pay you after 3 months.
Like, make it make sense.
Make it make sense. How about, okay, if you're going to support, if maybe you can't support through money and all these things, regulate things like that and be like, okay, if you're working with a company or a freelancer that you're paying maybe this amount of money, pay them immediately.
Pay them
within a certain amount of time. Pay them. That's how you can support. There's so many ways to support. The problem is when we talk about support, everyone thinks, oh, they want money, they are lazy, they are this. No, there are so many different ways. Or even bids, like access to the work. The same way they've done with the what is it called? The national database. Is it national? NDS, national NSD, National Suppliers Database for oil and gas. How about do that but for freelancers and small businesses, where like, okay, if you're getting suppliers or anyone like this, there is some jobs, some work that should be given to these types of businesses, these types of hustlers or these types of workers, the freelancers and things. So there is support that can happen in different ways, but we're not seeing that support. All you're seeing is they're coming, they want taxes, they want this, we want this from you, we want this from you, we want this. How are you taking from something that you're not putting into?
Yeah, that's very, like, it's very disheartening. But even if it's just money, like, but money doesn't have to come in like direct money to
something somehow.
Because, like, for example, like, for me, it blows my mind how difficult it is for like micro and small businesses to get credit facilities. Like, and then the interest rates are just insane. If you manage to navigate the system, the interest rates are just insane. Like, I saw someone talking about this. There's this new program from World Bank where they are giving money to female entrepreneurs. But then these are small, very small, like micro entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, and then you're asking them for collateral. Like, make it make sense.
Are you serious?
Already, I'm a woman. I've been disadvantaged by the system.
Where exactly do you expect me to get this collateral? What collateral do you want me to get?
Like, what do you want me to do? Where am I going to get the collateral from? Like, so, like,
I can't even believe this.
It's a very difficult situation. Like, where it's
but that's the thing, and that's what you're saying. Like, I guess that's what you're saying of. It's that we glamorize it, but there's nothing glamorous about it.
No, and it doesn't glean the results that we think it does, because you're overtaxing like people, these small businesses with people with multiple hustles. Every small business and entrepreneur, you want to tax them, and at the end of that day, they actually don't even contribute to our GDP that much. Otherwise,
and that's exactly, like, there is no major contribution to the GDP, but also, even if they were at some point going to be able to, how are they going to be able to when you've like hindered them from the beginning? You get how are they supposed to grow when you're taking away the little that they're making?
Yeah, the math is not mathing.
The math is not mathing
for us right now. Yeah, like the math is not mathing.
So ababela msite daily mnage tulavi because tupakasa, but the question is zoziwela.
But okay, maybe like the honest truth is maybe we're actually speaking from a very privileged perspective, because there are some people who are really in Kampala, like guys downtown who are kupakasari, but they are making the money.
Yes, they are, but even those people are also complaining about. Also, it depends on who is that making the money.
That's also very
because true. the big guy who is importing the stuff is making the money, but the person who is selling the stuff,
the resellers,
are they making the money?
True.
You get?
Yeah, that's very true.
So it's, again, there's a balance. Yeah. Also, that guy who's importing the stuff, is he being taxed as badly as the guy who's reselling? You get?
That's true. It's not like the system is not fair. Like,
it's not fair. It's a very, very unfair system, and
capitalism.
Man, especially because if you think about it, 70% of the population is youth, and those are the people. Like, how does that make sense?
Auntie, because they are considered the working population.
But you see,
so the working population is not supposed.
If they are not able to grow, then what happens 10 years from now? If all of them, because if you think about it, us who are like our age group and people like that, like, we don't. I saw a thing today where I think it was a tweet where the person was like, if you couldn't earn an income today, how far would your savings take you?
By the way, most of us
guys were like, you guys, I would eat supper, but I'm not sure about breakfast.
Yeah, because that's most people. Like, people are living hand to mouth.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, like, I think the average salary someone was saying is like 800K, and
in Kampala,
I think for like.
But imagine if that 800K is taxed, you have to pay. NSSF now is compulsory. It doesn't matter how much
in corporate world.
Yes, it doesn't matter how much you're earning. Then also you have to pay VAT.
No, you have to pay income tax. Yeah,
pay. And then of course there's income tax at the end of the year. So all those things, if you're that's on a salary.
Yeah.
But now imagine now on someone that has a business. On top of that, you have to pay for the people that work for you, all these things. But then you also have to pay, of course, there's VAT and all these things, which if you think about it, it's not your money. There's a lot of wahala around it. But still, a lot, like, so much is being taken from the pockets. So by the time you make that money, or even you grow, what is happening?
And we are a young population, so I think, and someone, I'm open to correction or whatever. I think that the rationale is you tax the working population, the young ones, who you presume should be gainfully employed, but which is not the case.
But
look, we have
you provided the employment?
We have very high unemployment, and then you're saying like they will have nothing in later years. So that the idea is they will have social security benefits, like a pension after
NSSF.
Yes, NSSF. So the idea is that you will have a certain, that they will have a pension after some point. That's why, for example, NSSF didn't want people to take their money at some point, because the money is held in investments that should grow, that then will be paid out upon maturity at some point, when the people are actually of age. But those people are also producing the next workforce. You get Jukida, we have one of the highest birth rates in the world. So you're actually, those people now are farming, basically you're baby farming. You're producing the next generation of workers.
Baby farming.
That's the rationale. For me, that's how I understand it. Like, that's the rationale. Like, you're producing those people. You will also pass on the burden
of course.
to them.
Yeah,
like
it's just you continuously
the burden to them.
But is that the best? Is that the best thing for the economy? Like, has that what's the word I'm looking for?
That model.
Yes. Has that model worked somewhere else?
To be honest, I don't know. I would have to ask an economist,
because it doesn't make sense. Because if all of us just continue to farm workers, if we continue to produce workers, who is going to give the jobs? Because now the ones who are creating the companies, and all, you've held them at a chokehold, because now they are not growing. They're
employment.
They're unable to create employment because their businesses are not growing. You're not giving them the resources. You're not giving them what they need, the access, all these things. So you're just creating and farming people who are going to continue to need employment.
Yeah, to contribute to the unemployment rate.
Exactly. So which means all you're doing is contributing to the unemployment rate. So at some point, all of us are going to be seated ngatulinze milimunga. There's no one creating the jobs.
That's why they told you go and do farming, make jobs for yourself.
Farming? Abana bazalide Kampala bagamba farming.
Nti bwana mwagala mulero musitu
mupakasa tuli musite daily stay
muchalo mukore farming.
But you see, that's the other thing, is that abana bazalide mu apartments, by the way. Leave alone mbu homestead oba what, omwana bamuzalira mu 4B. That's the life that they've known. They've lived in 4B. So that's the child you're saying to go and farm. Do they even know where food comes from? Apart from the soil that they teach them in primary school. Farming.
But that's what you would consider. Like, people are demo apartment. That's what you would consider. We don't have a real middle class, but those are ones you would consider, for example, middle class. Like, demo apartment. But remember, most of the people who contribute to the workforce in the city, most people, we still have rural-urban migration. Do you remember in school, rural-urban migration? Yeah. So people come from the village. They sell their land in the village to come to the city.
Because farming, is not feeding their whole family.
It's peasant farming.
It's peasant farming. It's not feeding their whole family. So he has to come and look for money. So which means even that rural urban migration, when he comes here to look for money in the city, even his child is going to be born in an apartment.
In a muzigo
apartment. It doesn't matter. They still don't know where the land is, because all of them,
the land was
the muzigo is here, the other muzigo is here. Where do you think they are farming?
The land was sold to come to Kampala.
You get,
for the father to ride the boda.
Yeah, exactly. So again, there is, if we don't support the hustlers, the entrepreneurs, I feel like we're doing ourselves a disservice. Again, we are not economists. Our economics stopped in S6. So if we are wrong, if there's a way that this model works, please correct us.
Because for us the math is not mathing right now.
We've jumped. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So what's the we've had like so many hilarious hustle stories in this Kampala. People trying this and that, like people abayidivi, like people do the wildest things. What's the craziest story that you've had so far?
The craziest because you see now the thing is, you see the problem with this is me. When you tell me hustle, the craziest hustle, ngena kugamba babi.
Yeah, you tell us. But nobody mu hustle. But those are the stories.
I know who are now stealing for others.
Those are the stories that are the most interesting. Those are the stories that are the most interesting.
Oh my god. Okay, but no. We've really met people who do and sell the craziest stuff, right? To be honest, I can't think of one right now.
I was watching this new show on Netflix, To Kill a Monkey. You guys,
you keep saying I haven't yet watched
you guys it. And because you're in the world of film, you need to watch it. Like, you guys in film need to watch it. It's so good. Like, it's so good. The quality is really good, but also the storyline, like, it really tells of the hustle culture in Lagos, like at such a deep level. And that, like, for me, I love the storytelling, because even though it tells of what's going on in Lagos, it's in a way the story kind of cuts across Africa and like how people are actually hustling. So the premise is on, sorry, this is a kind of a spoiler. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. But the premise is a syndicate or a ring or a criminal gang that does 419, like internet scams, like, yeah. And then they tie into it this whole juju thing, like that we've seen in older Nigerian movies, like the cultish practices and how they're attached to the mafia ring syndicates in in Lagos. And in addition to that, like, there's the use of like AI that's tied into it, and how they've adjusted, or they keep improving their hustle, like, you know. But then of course it had all the makings of a crime show or movie. But like the fact that it was really like
that's crazy.
Like the setting in Lagos, the terminology, the language, like it was so good. Yeah, it's so good.
No, actually,
it's so intense.
To be honest, I wasn't sure if I was going to watch it, but now I'm like, I really need to watch it. So I've thought of that thing is, so there's two. Okay, they're not wild, but for me they're the ones where I was like, you guys, Kampala. Like, guys are looking for money and they will make it anyhow. The first one is the coaches and the books, where people are selling coaching. People are selling coaching for any and everything. Of someone is going to tell you, yeah, I'm thinking how to book on maybe how to plait hair,
how to be a housewife,
how to be people are selling how to make money. It's like, you guys, if you have to sell a book on how to make money, you don't know even how you made the money. Like, you get, like, it's not, you get how to make how to get a job, you get that you're teaching people
to do something that you're yet to show
proof of concept, but also things that are not in their like, even if however much I learned how to get a job, I will not get a job if the people who want to give me the job don't know. Because how am I selling a book on how to get a job and I don't know what job you're looking for? But so for me, that's the most, I think right now that's the one that's like just wild to me, because, and people are buying these things. People are buying these how-to books online. they're buying these coaching services online, and it's just so wild
because it's you see, you can only sell things like that to desperate people.
Yes.
And what they're it's desperate. They are riding off of people's desperation, because if people are unemployed, of course you're going to sell them a book on how to get a job, because for them they're not even going to question do you have the job, what's your career history, etc, where have you worked, etc, have you worked in recruitment, how do you the people are not going to ask you questions before they will give you their last shilling. Do you understand? It's like these visa scams. It's like telling people visa. You get, like, if someone is desperate, they're trying to go to their US, to the supposed land of opportunities, until the orange man fucked everything up. Excuse my language. But I mean, it's the desperation. People are so desperate. They will sell their land. There are stories of scams like that going on even right now. People who want to go to the Middle East into slavery.
But imagine. But you see, that's the thing. Like for me, my thing is, of course, it all comes down to, of course, the people that are paying for it. But also you who's selling it. Like, do you have no conscience? Like, for you just wake up and with your conscious mind, you're like, I'm going to sell a book on how to be beautiful.
Auntie Afsa, remember, we live in the fake it till you make it
culture also.
So even them, do you understand? Even them, and so I've encountered many of these people, and they justify it to themselves. How they justify this to themselves? They say, "But everyone opakasa." For them, they figured out what they can sell to make quick money. If you there is someone who will take it. There's someone who is desperate enough to take it. For them, that's how they see the world. That's how they see the world.
So the other one that I'm not sure I should mention. This one. But it's, the people that sell meetings. Have you heard about it?
Yeah.
Where people move in like the halls of like parliament and whatever of power, like if they're adjacent to any type of power or any type of person in power thingy, they sell meetings with these people. I had no idea.
How did you recently
know? I found this out, I think like last year. You guys, I was like, because I was like, what?
Yeah. The president even had mentioned it last week. He was giving a speech somewhere, but I just saw a clip. He was talking about how people in his office were being paid to put letters on his desk. So for him, he's doing his job, like responding to the letters. But the person who has brought it to his desk has bagged like 5K, 10K, 15K.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Bro, when I found that out, I was like, oh my God.
It's a real thing.
But you know what? I don't knock people's hustles, because that one, I was like, even me, if I had proximity.
After, it's so hard. It's so hard. You ask me when you're not on the mic, and I tell you.
No. But you see, that's the thing. Now, from like another person who was telling me about it was like, you're not guaranteed. Like, I'm not guaranteed. I'm most of the time.
Person.
Yeah, like I'm going to make the call, do this. So so there's two types of them. There's the ones that are actual scammers. So the ones who maybe they'll take pictures with like the president and whatever. So they'll go and book a room somewhere, then they put the pictures of them with the president. Then after that, no was sent, poof, they disappear. Then there's the ones who actually have the proximity. So now, me, please, I have proximity to you. You're the minister of I don't know what. Then I come, I tell you, bruh, there's a meeting. You're like, how much are they giving us for the meeting? So now that meeting, if it kutulas, if it doesn't kutula, that's up to that's
their business.
That's their business. For you, what you've done, you've put them in the room. So when I heard about that, I was like, even me. If I ever get when you become a minister, be ready. Be ready, because me, I'll be saying I can get you in.
No, but you see the problem with those people, the people who sell meetings, like, because I've been like a representative on the investor side.
Yes.
Is how much it hinders investment, and like that's why like the government even like set up like the investor protection unit, and like the president is talking about it, because you can't be the same people trying to attract foreign direct investment into the country, but then you have all these hindrances, right? Everyone wants to be paid for a meeting.
Yes.
Do you know the investor says I'm out packs before that deal even kutulaz? Now we've lost money as a country because the investor, like when I was in a certain situation and I was
so fun and games until it affects all of us.
I was in a certain situation and like everyone was asking for money along that way. I said, now, how am I going to justify to my investor that I'm paying bribes? Do you know the money is just going?
And also the thing is like, the bribes, I feel like the bribes, the investors might get it, but also to what end?
To what end? Because you're not guaranteeing anything.
Yeah, you're not guaranteeing anything. Also, I can't pay every single person.
No, you have to pay.
And that's what I'm saying, like, it's not feasible. It's not sustainable to pay every single person. If only there was that one leader. If all of you come under one leader.
No, let me tell you, after you have to pay every office that you have to go to. Jukida, like investors, it's not like they're going. Okay, they've tried to create like one-stop center, whatever.
Yeah,
but remember when you're setting up a new venture or a business, like there are so many offices that you need to go through, so many approvals, permits, etc., all of those things, right? And some industries or sectors are much harder than others, for example. Yeah. So now, by the time you finish, do you know the money that was supposed, the investment was, you finished it in bribes.
Bribes. Now you're there.
What are you going to do? And that's something that, by the way, investors are like saying, like openly talking about. That's why like they keep. Now they're going to the investor protection unit. There was a Mutakish guy who, like the other week, who got people arrested. But like they are reporting, because you can't be setting meetings every which way. Like what to na maladi. Anyway, to go bring investors, attract investors to the country. And no, people in the pipeline, in the ecosystem, bakunyiga. Katiba investor bana.
Nabo bayiriba. Everyone,
but then
that's true.
And I think that's the problem that we have. Like it's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I think the problem that we have, and I think this also is an effect of hustle culture, is it's everyone for themselves. You get, because I'm not thinking about now, like you're saying, like I'm not thinking about the bigger picture of investor, all these things. The investors, you get, like if the investor comes, there's going to be so much money, there's going to be all these job opportunities. No, me, I'm thinking Zemfurina Muwa. Wemanganze sifunam, Bionatuiwe.
But you see,
which is so bad. But again, it's a product of the hustle culture, because hustle culture is like we are pushing.
Yeah, survival of the
fittest. We're all pushing. So that's what it's going to produce in the end, where we don't care about the bigger picture. We don't care about the country. We don't care about anyone else but ourselves. But also, what you don't realize in that moment, like ogena kuliakat. But now, in the long run, you're also going to lose.
Money gets finished.
It's going to get over now. You failed to
create opportunities. You've refused to create a pathway where everyone can eat, because you're only thinking about yourself. So everyone can eat in terms of like the job, like job creation, like money coming into the country, whichever way you want to look at it, right? Which is very, very sad for me. And I feel like some people in these situations, for example, like with the investors, they're not actually lacking they're actually not lacking like for resources. They're not underprivileged people. But like when does it end? Like when does it stop? Right?
Yeah.
That greed, or it really is greed sometimes.
No, it's 100% it's greed. It's 100% greed. It is definitely greed. So it's anyway,
that it continues to contribute to our dysfunction as a society, as a city, as a country. It's madness. Like in summary, some of these hustle stories, complete madness.
No, it's
but then there are people who are trying. There are people who are genuinely trying. There are those who are genuinely trying.
No, there are people trying. People are genuinely trying, and the thing is, all of us are trying. All of us are trying, but whether you like it or not, your trying is going to affect someone in the long run. Mm-hmm. So I think what you just need to do is just be intentional and be careful about, okay, but am I affecting someone else? Am I manipulating someone else? Am I taking advantage of someone's desperation?
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
Is what I'm doing, is it beneficial not even by the you might even be selfish enough to not be think about the entire country, but think about Omwanao. You're like, if I'm doing this, how is that going to affect the people that I'm doing this for? Because you might be working for yourself, but you're also working for the people, like your children, your family, and all that. So how is this going to affect them in the long run? Is it a good decision? That am I living a better world and a better environment and a better economy for my people?
Most of them,
Ella, they don't think about
you're
that.
The only one who has thought about that.
Unfortunately, anyway.
But the crazy thing is, like, this dysfunction or the chaos in the system, like we see its effects on our everyday lives.
Yeah.
Like, for example, something like traffic jam. Like, why? Like the whole idea of traffic jam, like there's so many factors that you're just like, but why do we have so much traffic jam? Why am, as a person, for example, am I losing 3 hours a day? For example, you stay like in Nigeria, Tukira. You're losing 3 hours a day, 3 productive hours a day in
commuting.
3 productive hours a day that you can be contributing to the GDP, whether at your job, whether in your house or in town, whether where. 3 productive hours you've lost in traffic jam. Gone. Sweet. In those 3 hours, you've contributed to air pollution. Because our cars are old.
That air pollution.
Remember, our cars are old. They tried to cap it at Smaya 2010, at Smaya, which year that you can't put a car after. But who can afford?
Who can afford any car newer than that?
You've contributed to the air pollution, spoiling the air quality. We have one of the worst air qualities in the world. Smanya is what? 5 to 7 times higher than it should be. You've contributed to air pollution. Your health, stress, burnout, even back issues.
Because you're sitting in the car all that time.
I can tell you for free, like drivers really suffer from back issues. That's poor health lost. And then those are the same people who are going to overcrowd your healthcare system that barely exists. As in,
so it's a ripple effect. It's a ripple effect. But first of all, the chaos. I want to tell people, let's be considerate drivers. Because you cannot be at a junction and then all of you just go. Honestly, I feel like that's, first of all, like maybe like number 3 cause of traffic jam. Of course, the road's terrible, different lanes, what. But the fact that we are very selfish drivers of, this person has the right of way. But because you feel you're very, very busy, you're going to continue and stop in the middle of the road. Which means, or even, let me say there's traffic on the lane that's going, but then there's a junction. So you decide to come, and you've driven, instead of saying, okay, you know what, there is not enough space, let me stay here, and the other person is ahead. So at this junction can be free. Nedda gosazeo to park in the middle of the road, because you're selfish. I would hope that you're probably not doing it maliciously, but you just haven't stopped to think about the other person on the road and how they're going to use the road. And now the other one who could have been gone because there's no traffic on their way, they're stuck because of you. And remember, for you can't move because your traffic is like till the other side.
Yeah. But so isn't that like that selfishness on the roads or like in traffic? Don't you think it's like a byproduct of the culture that we've created?
Yeah.
Of everyone for themselves. Survival of the fittest. So someone isn't even going to perform that small gesture of kindness to just let you pass. It's the same thing in a queue, in the bank. It's like of you, like, you know how you honestly, it's like when you're in a supermarket and for you have like a whole carton of things. The one behind you has a carton of juice. And you can't let them pass. You know what, you pass, you do your thing, and then but no. So it's definitely that culture, that hustle culture, that like Kuyiriba culture, where like you're just pushing against each other, everyone for themselves. Something like that happened to me last week. Yeah, I went to see the doctor, so there was a long queue. There was a long queue, and I was actually like the second last person in the queue. So I sat, the queue is moving. Now there was a lady who was sitting, just the last person. So I stepped away to use the washroom. And when I came back, she had skipped, not even, because you move, you sit and you move closer to the doctor's room, like based on where you are in the queue. So she had skipped my seat and gone and sat like ahead of me.
Okay.
So when I came back, I told her, but madam, we are in a queue. She said, yeah, I know. I'm like, okay. But you're like skipping the queue. And she's like, no, I'm not skipping the queue. But of course I knew that was her intention. So when the person ahead of her entered the doctor's room, I also did passed. Yeah. And I passed her and I went back to my position. The unfortunate bit is that she was the caretaker of someone who was dealing with a disability. And the person that she had brought was getting agitated. You know, like people with disabilities that can't speak.
But she couldn't ask.
But you see, that's the thing.
She didn't ask. She didn't think to be like, hey, I have this situation. Yeah.
Could you help me? Now, I'm the one who realized. And I'm like, you know what, madam, you can go ahead of me, but you could have asked. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, people are not just out there unkind that I would have said no. Like, I can also see that you know, that this patient is agitated and they need to move and you take them away or whatever, because I know what it means to be in the hospital queue for so long. And so it so happened that the person who was, then she's like, but no, I wasn't trying to skip the line. I told her it's okay. It's okay. You go ahead of me with your patient. Yeah. So the doctor came out and he's like, oh, because the doctor knows me by name. He's like, oh, Liz, come in. Then I'm like, you know what? Let them go ahead of me. Then he's like, okay, thank you, whatever. But in my mind, I was like, it's like we don't have consideration in that situation. Showed me like we all don't have consideration for each other, because she could have asked. Do you understand? She could have, if she had made me aware of her situation, I would have said go.
But you see now why a person like that is not going to ask is because if the roles were reversed, shouldn't have allowed, because that's the only reason she's not going to ask, because it's like me, I would have asked because I'm like, if it was me, I would have 100% said yes. So I would have asked because like I expect the same response that I would give. I'm thinking that's what happened, because she's not going to ask because like yeah, she's probably not going to say yes, because I probably wouldn't say yes either. I'm assuming that's the situation. So, or even maybe she's been with that patient for so long, and so many people have been, and she has asked, and it has been no, and she reached a point she's like, you know what, people are not going to say yes. But again, it's such a sad situation that we live in, where it's just every man for themselves. There's no way we win as every man for themselves.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way we win.
There's no way you win as every man for
themselves, which is sad, which is unfortunate. But I also kind of understand why we've reached this situation as a society. I'm not saying I want to justify it at like 100%, but
it's understandable. You can see where it comes from. You can see that it's because people are tired, people are desperate, and it's, if you don't get there before someone else does, someone else is going to get it.
Yeah.
And that's the culture that has been created with the environment that we're living in, because again, abantu bako.
Man, abantu bako indeed. Yeah, so we're talking about like the dysfunction. Like, is this dysfunction or organized chaos, or like what's going on? Like, I think that's a question that I ask myself many times when I'm in this city. Like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing here? Like, you know, when you walk into a place and you're like, what are we doing here? Where do I even start?
I think it's dysfunction, but we've learned to live and we have adapted our lives to the organized chaos. I don't know if that makes sense. Because
true,
a lot of Ugandans, if you took them out of Uganda and you put them in a very organized society, they wouldn't make it. They wouldn't make it.
That's why people say that moving abroad for them is such a difficult thing. Because they are like, the systems are so rigid.
They'll be like, everything is so rigid. Everything. What do you mean rigid? What do you mean? No, things just work. You get, because you know, here, if I need to get a permit for something, I can go Liz Nemtelayoka sent permit nudge thing, and she puts it on top of the president's situation. You just put something, puts it in front. Which other country do you know where you can go and pay and then they put the letter in front of the president?
None.
You get?
Yeah.
So we have somehow managed to turn it into organized chaos. It's so terrible, but we have to adapt.
Man.
We have to adapt. So something that was chaotic, it's like the boda thing. All of us were always complaining that bodas are disorganized, they're what. But you tell me a person who doesn't have a boda guy.
Facts.
And the reason you have that boda guy is because he can go anywhere in this city. Anywhere in this city, he will reach.
You can't survive without the boda guy.
You can't. You cannot tell me that you don't have a boda guy. You have a boda guy.
Everyone has a
and that boda guy knows so much about you because they probably know your family, they know your friends, they know your business, they know your customers, your clients, they know all these things about you because these guys are so chaotic. Are the people that they're the ones that we depend on to be able to function.
Yeah.
For our businesses to be able to function. You get, if you have like a delivery business or a business that needs delivery, those are people that you depend on.
Yeah.
You get. So I think it's dysfunctional, but it's also organized chaos. And to be honest, a lot of us cannot do without it because we will go in other countries and we will suffer.
Yeah, most people would suffer in like in another country for sure because the way things are like, there are systems and structures. Either you follow or you chill.
Now
and if you don't accept that you must follow the system as it is, that's how it kicks you out. That's the truth. The system just kicks you out. It just, yeah. So most people, for sure. Yeah, but I mean, just like most people, I have a love-hate relationship with Kampala. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's the truth. Honestly, I do love the city. But for me now, my remedy has been to always find at least like 2 weeks where you just run away. First become sane again, and then you come back.
Yeah.
But I really do still think there's some type. It's possible for you to make it because it's difficult, but then there's also, it allows you, there's an opportunity for you to dream. And again, I know I'm speaking from a privileged point of view because but then that's also my point of view. And it's so sad that I'm sure so many people are not able to have that hope and all of these things. But if there is any, from where I'm standing, there's always a bit of hope. Mm-hmm. However much it's so sad, it's always, but I think also the hope is just because we're all so young.
Yeah.
We're all so young, and it's not all what's the word?
Doom and gloom.
Yeah, it's not all doom and gloom. Like it's not the end.
Yeah.
It's not the end. Like it's still possible. It's still possible. And I just pray that day is coming soon where we're like, you know what? We hustled. You get, we hustled, and it has come to pass. It hustled and it's been fruitful. Like we've made it somehow.
Yeah. So like for me, my love-hate relationship with Kampala is like things like we are such a small town. Like we have small town syndrome, which I hate. But then sometimes I like, because for example, like we're such a small city, we go to the same places, we go to the same hangouts, we go to the same restaurants, we all work in the same 5 companies.
Yeah.
But then, which I hate, because I'm just like, where do you find new people? What are the new experiences? Like if you're looking for new experiences, where do I go? Like, unlike a city like Nairobi, like if you're in like between like, for example, like Westlands and like Mombasa Road, like you can be in like 100 different cliques.
But that's not fair, Liz. You know why that's not fair? Because I think everyone who lives in a city feels like the city is small. So if you say that Nairobi, I'm sure, because I have Kenyan friends who also like, Nairobi is too small.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like everyone that lives in a city feels like it's too small.
Maybe some are smaller than others.
My Kampala is smaller than yours.
Really?
Yeah. If you think about it, because the people that I engage with, or like the groups of friends that I engage with, is much smaller than yours. You get? So I could be like, oh, Kampala is so small, but then we go to a place and you're introducing me to people, and I've never seen this person in my entire life.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I think the small town syndrome, I feel like, is there for every town, every city, but I think it's also a way to to challenge ourselves to get out of our comfort zones. I remember last year I got invited to a nyege pre-party. And so I went. Usually I don't. So I went as I was doing some work with them. So I went because usually, I mean, those are not things that I would go for. And it's not because it's nyege, but it's just because like I don't really go out if I'm not working. But I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? It sounds like fun. It was at a place that you would never find me there. It's not a place that I would, and it's not because Mboba I think about it, but it's just not a place that if we're looking for somewhere to chill, I'd be like, oh, let's go and chill here. Never. You get, it's definitely not a place that would come to mind. So I went, and I'm telling you, like, I left and I had such a good time. But I'm telling you, like, I did meet some people that I knew, but it was maybe like 4 or 5 people. Almost everyone there, I had no idea who they were, and they were having the time of their lives. So which means even me, I was having that time of my life. You get, and I was like, wait a minute, there's actually
another side to Kampala.
Another side to, there's a whole other world outside of what we know and what we're used to. So I think, yeah, it's small city syndrome, but I feel like that's every city.
I don't think so.
I don't know. That's every city. That one I've refused.
I don't know.
That one I've refused because I feel imagine like even people in Joburg.
I feel like
will tell you Joburg is small.
I feel like Kampala's small town syndrome. First of all, it's small in terms of size.
Yes, that's true. But also the thing is, it's small in. Also, it's not that small in terms of size.
No, it is.
Liz, when was the last time you partied in Nigeria?
No, I'm saying in terms of actual land size.
Okay, yes. That one, yes, of course, Kampala is a small city. But what I'm saying...
So it means that only a certain number of people can fit in this.
That's not true because we are overpopulated here.
Yes, because we finished the space.
Yes, we're not for you. When you tell me you've seen all of the people in that space,
we're about to start climbing on each other. That's why there are so many apartments, because now there's nowhere for us to go. Of course, that city is small, and we're all cramped up in the same space.
Okay, yes. But now my question is, were those people who are cramped up in that space
a good majority? Because like I said, only a certain amount of people can fit in this space.
Yes,
you get, only a certain amount of people can fit in that space. So it is a small town.
That one, yeah. Liz, okay, is it practically? There's figuratively, and what's the other one? literally, yes, it is a small town. But figuratively, it's really not. There's so many people. I think you and I, what we need to do is get out of our bubble of the people. Because if you think about it, the people that we hang out with, the people that we know, most of them are people that we've known since secondary school. You get, it's been the same circles. It might not be the same school, but it's been the same circles. You get, and then after that, maybe the people that we've worked with. You get, and then after that, that's it actually, because then maybe those people start to marry each other, but that's the bubble. You're not going out of there's a whole bunch of schools that you never interacted with in your secondary school, and all those people are friends.
But now where will I find them?
Until now, that's the question, guys. Where can we find you?
Anyway, another thing about Kampala is like the energy, like where the energy in terms of, we've talked about the hustle, like the grind, but the energy, which I love and hate at the same time. For example, our party culture is so energetic. Like everyone says, like when my friends visit Kampala, like from different cities, they are like, wow, I've never seen this in my life before. Like, you guys party like this, which I really love. But then I also hate at the same time, because now, like for me, like now who goes out like once a week, right? When I'm in my bed at my home, there's a chibara everywhere. Like I can't sleep. It's in a week. It's a working day. Catwalk is just there. Kobe is in my ear, like do.
That one, we've all been there.
Like, cut me some slack, guys. Can we sleep? Like, so, like, I love it. Like, I love how happy we are, how joyful we are. Like, we exude so much joy and, happiness, and, we like a good time, unlike many places I've been to. But then at the same time, I'm like, can we cut it out? Like,
okay, that's it's a bit much. But that one, you just need to move. Because even me, there's a place I was where before I moved, you guys, front and back, This and now
Chibala.
even Chidula, and now me. Worst of all, I had like these were like neighborhood kids. They would come with their radio. You guys, 6 a.m. First of all, why are teenagers awake at 6 a.m. on the gate? You'd feel like it's here in your ears,
and then the church or the
and
other
then
side.
The church. And that's
so like all sides.
All sides. You have like Shibala 1, 2. You have the church here. Then in a nursery school. Good morning, children.
Gosh.
But like that one, honestly, that one is. I think it's like one of those things. What you guys, English today has refused, but it's like a payment for just living in Kampala. Like that one, I don't even complain
school
anymore.
Fees.
It's like school fees. Like it's like Alhamdulillah that I get to live in this amazing city, and then that's one of the things that it comes with. You have to accept, because there are very few places in this Kampala where you're going to live. Like that's in the back of your thingy window. So me, that one, I'm like, I let the people enjoy, let the children enjoy,
but my sleep. Won't I work tomorrow?
First of all, now you go out once a week. There's a time you're also one of those ones outside there.
Which is true. Edge is taking me.
But that is not their problem. No, but that one,
Afsa,
let's say, please enjoy.
No, Afsa, but you see, the thing is, in other societies, there are designated areas that are residential, and there are party areas.
That one,
right?
Sure. That one I understand.
So for me,
again, chaos.
So it's the chaos. Like, can we keep certain areas designated? Now, for example, I feel sorry for the guys who live in Bugos,
because first of all,
everywhere Chibala.
And if you notice, all those balas is because there were people's residential homes. So they also started selling. Now the whole street is just balas.
Auntie, but now you see what should happen in such an instance is also like what we've failed to master, like as a country, or and this is something for people in tourism to look at, or government as a whole, is in some cities they have what's called I was reading an article, a nightlife czar, who's responsible for the night economy. Like it's called the night economy, if I'm not mistaken. So everything that happens at night, nightlife, etc. So you create a system or a framework where you say these are the designated areas that are party areas, for example. And in many cities that I've lived in or visited, that this is the party street. Like for example, in Cape Town, Long Street, that if I go to Long Street, I'm having a good time. Like if I when I was living in Arizona, like if I go to Scottsdale, this is where I'm having a good time. Even where I live right now, like if there are specific places, and like in where I am right now in Barcelona, like in the Gothic Quarter, like ba club, do you understand? But then that's not going to carry on to some of the other neighborhoods, right? You'll just find like maybe a small eatery or a tapas spot or whatever, but it's not going to be like
a long line of Chidula.
But if we respected, like if we actually made sense or started to understand like the night economy, and actually figured out how to monetize it, how much money does this bring in? How can we attract tourists into the country to enjoy the nightlife? Do you understand? And how can we designate specific areas that these are areas for bars, clubs, etc., and then regulating them and licensing them properly and appropriately, right? Without inconveniencing people, because now you surely to put someone now surely, Kati, you see people have been chased from Bandali because
family homes.
Because family homes, they've been living there since the beginning of time. But if you create, a proper structure or a system that allows for, the growth of or whatever of this night economy, you mitigate some of those issues, because that's now surely this is just chaos at some point.
No, it's chaos, because I'm telling you, every single neighbor, like you're there, home, boom, bala. Home, boom, ba. I'm like, what's happening? Honestly, for me, that one, I just I made my peace with it a long time ago, and I'm like, but you're right. Like, I think that designated and the areas and all those things, and then also I think that also helps guide the growth, so that it's not, because now when you have a problem of this one has started a bar here, it's hit, it's booming, it's all in nafna senteze na take a balao just right in front of him. And it's like, you guys, now we are fighting for the same people, you get. So I think it's just those, I think all in all, what we need is proper regulations, regulations that are not regulations of chokeholding the entrepreneurs and all these things, but regulations of
that facilitate the growth of the
hustle, like people's different hustles and everything.
Yeah. Anyway, we could go on and on and on about Kampala. We could go on all day, all night, but we'll stop it at here. Maybe we'll do a part 2 at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Never know. But
also just share with us your experiences with Kampala chaos, your hustle experiences.
Yeah.
Also what you think about the hustle culture, because again, we speak from a very specific perspective, and it's really hard to be very objective if you don't have the lived experiences of other perspectives. So we might also, because we definitely are like, don't glamorize the hustle culture, but in some way we probably are. So so share with us your experiences, your thoughts. Do you think that the model, that this baby farming model that government is working with is going to work? Just share with us your thoughts, guys. We really, I think this is a very interesting topic that affects every single person, every single one of us.
Yeah, we definitely love to hear from you, but we've got to love you and leave you today. So see you on the next one.
Peace out.